When I first visited Hosmer Lake a long time ago, I was amazed by my surroundings. It was an adventure through the reeds and water lilies, leading to a variety of birds and mountain views. On this very early morning, I revisited with a kayak and a camera to capture this great experience. I had the lake to myself as the sun was rising and the birds began chirping. The first identified bird was a little hard to see, with it still being dark and the dense vegetation. The spiky-headed duck was a female hooded merganser and a group of her ducklings. The mother was protecting and teaching the ducklings to dive for insects and small fish. The next sighting was another mother with ducklings, but it was a mallard. This female looked similar to a lot of other ducks, but the orange bill differentiated it from others seen on this day. It seemed the mothers of Hosmer Lake had a strategy of getting out early so their ducklings would have an easier feeding experience. The next sighting was another brown female duck, but the male ring-necked ducks have a much more distinct look. One of the more distinct features is the white ring around the bill. This group of adults were not as shy as the mother ducks with their ducklings. The males were being playful or fighting over the female. The ring-necked duck was the most common duck seen at Hosmer on this day. As it got lighter outside, all kinds of birds showed up. The yellow-headed blackbird was a bit more elusive to me, and I only saw one male all day. This bird dominates the more common red-winged blackbird to get the prime nesting spots. After passing through the marshy path, the north end of the lake opens up. Hosmer Lake is very alive, with enough plants and insects to feed hundreds of birds. More life is under the water. Trout and salmon have a healthy habitat. A couple small islands in the lake are a good place to look for more birds. The islands are closed off to the public for wildlife protection. As the sun rose and the clouds started to disappear, the mountains began to show themselves. Very far away was a smaller bird I couldn't identify until seeing the footage later. The tree swallow is a small songbird that nests in tree cavities. The bright blue part of its coat and song make it stand out, but it wasn't nearly as talkative as other birds. The next sighting was the always talkative red-winged blackbird. These are very common at Hosmer and other marshes, but the red and yellow marks are pretty exotic looking. They are very aggressive, spending a good chunk of their time protecting their territory. The female looks completely different with brown streaks and no red accents. Another kind of blackbird was at Hosmer, Brewer's blackbird. Some faint blue and green can be seen in the right light. This one had a tight grip on a bug in its mouth, and it seemed to be looking for more. I only saw one of these birds on this day, but they are known to nest in huge groups. Headed back through the vegetated path, I could see another duck, the cinnamon teal. The male has a light brown coat and the distinct red eyes. The female looks a bit more like a mallard, but with a black beak. As I headed back to the boat launch, I was very happy with the peaceful experience at this lake and being able to see so many birds. Hosmer Lake has no hiking trails or easy access. People can only experience it by paddling in. The birds get a special place to call home, and those that put a little effort in can enjoy it too.